All right, number 13, we need to determine which values of theta and degrees yield undefined values of each function below. Then prove your responses in the space provided. Undefined occurs when the denominator is equal to 0. So let's look at number 13, for example. Secant, we know from up here that secant is defined as 1 over the cosine. So if I'm determining 1 over cosine and I'm looking for an undefined answer, I would want cosine of theta to be equal to 0. So what degrees would that occur at? If we look at the unit circle, let's look for where would cosine of theta be equal to 0. That would occur here at 90 degrees. Cosine here is 0. And also here at 270 degrees, cosine is equal to 0. So those are my two angles at which secant, or 1 over cosine, would be undefined. Proof means show that this is actually true. So secant of 90 degrees is equal to 1 over the cosine of 90 degrees. And according to our unit circle, 1 over cosine 90 is equal to 0, and that is an undefined answer. Similarly, let's prove that secant of 270 degrees is undefined. So secant of 270 is 1 over the cosine of 270. And again, on our unit circle, we can see here that the cosine of 270 is also equal to 0, which is undefined. Let's also look at number 16. So all of these have the same directions, but each is a different identity. So in number 16, we're trying to determine at which degrees of theta would the cotangent be undefined. Cotangent, we know, is cosine divided by sine. So in order for this to be undefined, we would want the denominator, or sine of theta, to be equal to 0. So again, if you look at the unit circle, the sine would be sine would be 0 at 0 degrees, or also at 180 degrees. So if we prove that, let's go ahead and determine here, or show that cotangent of 0 equals cosine of 0 over sine of 0. Cosine of 0 degrees is equal to positive 1. Sine of 0 degrees is equal to 0. This is undefined. The cotangent of 180 degrees is cosine of 180 divided by sine of 180. The cosine of 180 is negative 1. The sine of 180 here is also equal to 0. Negative 1 divided by 0 is also undefined.